Yo, what is up, y'all? Welcome into the Act First show where we make selling simple for online coaches and high ticket closers. All right, we're going to do an objection handling breakdown today. All right, so how this is going to work is first and foremost, we're going to be talking about the price objection. All right, this can be used for any price objection except I have to check my budget. All right. And what we're going to be doing is I'm going to break it down first. So I'm going to break down the science, why we ask these certain questions when we do. And then from there, I'm going to actually role play the objection with AI. So I made a video about this. It's actually my highest performing video. It's called character.ai and anyone can use it. It's 100% free. I'm not affiliated with it at all. I just use it to practice my own sales. And I'm actually going to role play with this AI and show you guys what this looks like. All right. So let's go ahead and break down the actual science of it first. All right, so like I said, we're going to be talking about the price/financial objection, and you could use this for any price financial objection that you get, except for I have to check my budget. All right, so I'm going to read the script word for word, okay? I'm going to break down every single sentence scientifically, and then we're going to role play this shiz with our good friend AI. All right, so they hit you with the, I can't afford this, or it's too much money, whatever. All right, you're going to say, hey, totally understand, and then repeat the objection back to them, okay? So let's just say, like, it's too much money. Hey, totally get that it's too much money. Cool if I ask you some questions. Very simple. If you guys are new to sales, the big rule of objection handling is always to agree first, okay? And then we want to ask for permission, okay? So we're agreeing and then we're asking for permission. The reason we want to ask for permission is, you know, we're giving the false illusion that they are in control here, right? We're giving the false illusion that they have the power, that they are controlling this thing. And if that's, you know, the illusion that we're giving, right, which isn't really illusion because we actually are giving them the power, right, then they are going to be more willing to actually go along with us. They're not going to feel that we are fighting them, that it's us versus them. They're going to feel that we're doing this together. All right, so hey, totally get that it's too much money. Cool if I ask you some questions? All right, now from there, 99, remember this is really important, right? If you're taking notes, this is something that you want to write down. 99% of the time that they say it's finances, that they say it's price, that they say it's too much money, it's not. Right. And what I mean by that is they are hiding behind that objection. Okay. So that's why we ask these next questions to dig deeper and also to remind them why they are here. Okay. So the next question we ask is we say, hey, awesome. Is it still a top priority for you to reach, insert their goal so you can insert their why? And this is why it's so important to have a really good discovery section of your sales call, because you have to figure out the reason they're on the call. You have to figure out what the goal is, and then you have to go layers deeper. You have to figure out what their why of the why is. Not the surface level why, but the why behind the why. All right, so let me give you an actual example here. Hey, you know, totally get it. Awesome. Well, hey, is it still a top priority for you to lose these 100 pounds so that you could be a better father for your children, right? This is all information that you figured out in the discovery. The reason that we want to ask this question, right, is it's an obvious yes, right? In this case, the person obviously wants to lose 100 pounds. They obviously want to be a better father for their children. Otherwise, they wouldn't be on the call. But the reason that we ask this question is we know that we are going to get a yes. We are just bringing up the emotional pain point, the reason that they are on the call, because it was probably 30 minutes ago that we talked about the thing, right? And emotions are fleeting, especially when money gets involved, right? When they see that price tag, they're going to be thinking logically, not emotionally. They're going to forget about the reason they're on the call. They're going to forget about the fact that they want to lose 100 pounds. And the reason they want to lose 100 pounds is to be a better father for their children. So it's our responsibilities as sales leaders to bring that up, to get them reconnected to that, because that is the reason they're on the freaking call, right? That is our goal. Our goal is to lead them to make a commitment to reach this freaking goal that they know that they need to reach, but they can't do it on their own. Okay. So that's the reason we say that. Awesome. Is it still a top priority for you to lose these 100 pounds, whatever their goal is, so you can be a better father for your children, whatever their why is? Okay. They're going to say yes there. If they say no, which once again is highly unlikely, then we want to dig deeper and figure out why. But honestly, if they say no there, you're probably not going to close this deal, and you probably didn't do a very good job in the discovery section of figuring out what their why is. Okay, so we reconfirm their goal and their why. All right, that's checkpoint number one. All right, checkpoint number two is we want to make sure that they believe that this program can actually help them. Okay, once again, they're hiding behind, it's highly likely that they're hiding behind this financial barrier. So we have to ask them questions to unearth what may actually be behind the financial objection that they are giving us. Okay, so we're going to say, hey, totally figured, you seemed like a really committed person. And do you still believe that our program can 110%? I love saying that 110% because it adds an extra layer of certainty. And you still believe that our program can 100%, 110% help you reach that goal, right? Now, if they say no here, very simply what we want to do is we want to figure out what they didn't like about the program. 9 times out of 10, they either, missed a piece of information in the presentation that you gave or misunderstood a piece of information in the presentation that you gave. And then you just go back to the presentation and re-explain it, right? So they say no, you figure it out, go back, re-explain it, okay? But 9 times out of 10, they're going to say yes here. Okay, they're going to say, yeah, no, I believe that this program's great. Right? You can follow that up, right? At any of these questions. So not to go back a step here, right? But when they say that their goal and their why is really important to them, when you ask them that question, you can always follow. If you feel like, hey, I really need to work on this person, and I highly encourage this, you can always follow it up by saying, and why is it so important for you? Hey, that's amazing that it's still a top priority for you to lose these 100 pounds to be a better father for your children. But I want to hear more. Why is it so important to you? Right? Get them to sell themselves. Okay. Now, the second one, right? The believing in the program. Yes, I do believe in the program, right? You can follow that up and say, that's amazing. I love that you believe in our program. Why do you believe in our program? Like, why? What about our program stands out to you, right? Get them to sell themselves. Okay, cool. Now, the next thing that we need to do here. Yes, the next thing that we need to do here is we need to confirm that they have the time for this program, right? So we confirmed their belief in themselves and their goals and their priorities. We confirmed the belief in the program. Now we need to confirm that they feel that they have the time for this. So we're going to say, hey, glad to hear that you love our program, and glad to hear that those are the reasons why you love our program. After you've seen everything, meaning you've seen all of our program, do you still feel confident that you have the time for a program like this? Right? If they say yes, great. We move on to the next thing. Now, if they say no, what we want to do is we actually want to give them the amount of time that this is going to take. Hey, totally understand. Your goal is still a priority for you, right? Yes, it is. Okay, cool. So what we've seen is bare minimum effective dose is about 4 to 5 hours to do our program. Do you feel confident that you can find 4 to 5 hours every single week so that you can reach this goal? If they say yes, great. Time isn't a concern anymore. If they say no, then I would say, okay, well, hey, I know this goal is really important to you. Are you open to getting resourceful with your time so that we can find a way to make this work? If they say no to that, they're not willing to be resourceful, they're probably not the right client for you. But if they say yes to that, then great. We very logically dig into their calendar and figure out what they are doing that isn't advantageous to their life and replace that with the program. Okay? So that's the timeline. All right, so we've confirmed why and goal. We've confirmed program. Now we've confirmed time. Okay, now the next thing that we want to confirm is their mindset. All right, this is usually where people are going to trip up. All right, this is usually where you're going to get somebody that says, I'm not 100% confident. All right, so here's what that's going to look like. Cool. Glad that you have the time for the program. And how about yourself? And what I mean by that is, are you 110% confident that you can reach this goal? Or is there a little bit of fear? Is there a little bit of imposter syndrome? Is there a little bit of doubt? Right? And then you pause. Right? Let them answer. Now, the way that they respond is everything. If they say, well, I have doubt, but honestly, I'm willing to push through it. then great. We can move on. We got what we need. Some people might say, no, I have no doubt. But a lot of people will say, you know what? I actually do have some imposter syndrome. I actually do have a little bit of fear, a little bit of doubt. Now, I can do a whole entire very long video on how to work through fear. And if that's something you guys want, let me know in the comment section down below. But I'm just going to give you a really short, quick one that tends to work really well for me. So I'll bring them back to their goal and I'll say, hey, totally normal that you have some imposter syndrome. Let me ask you this. So the goal, right? Losing these 100 pounds, being a better father for your children, that's still a top priority, right? Cool. I already asked that. I knew the answer. I just wanted to hear it again. All right. Well, let me ask you this. Are you going to let something as silly as fear hold you back from becoming the best possible version of yourself, the best possible father that you know that you could be? Are you going to let something as silly as fear hold you back from that? No, Chad, I'm not. Great. Are you willing to work through this? Yes, Chad, I am. Cool. All right. Just tie down that concern. All right. So the next thing that we're going to do here is if they say yes to all of those things, right? It's still a top priority for them to reach this goal. They believe in the program. They have the time. They believe in themselves. They have a good mindset. Then what we just did is we isolated that all of those things are not an objection and that we truly have a financial objection on our hands. And here's how I handle that from there. So I say, okay, cool. So if I'm hearing you correctly, literally the only thing holding you back is finances. Is that right? They say yes. All right. The next thing we need to do is we need to confirm that they are willing to get resourceful to work through a payment plan. So we say, amazing, cool. So it looks like you have the drive, you have the mindset. Obviously, you have a really important goal. Let me ask you this. Are you open to getting resourceful financially so we can find a way to make this work? All right. When they say yes to this, we are on the same side of the table. The worst position you could be as a closer or a coach on a sales call is on opposite sides of the table with your prospect. If the prospect perceives, and this is not your perception, this is the prospect's perception, but if they perceive that it's you versus them and you guys are battling it out and you're trying to, you guys are arm wrestling for this close, you're never going to win. But if they perceive that you guys are working together as a team to figure this out, you have a high percentage likelihood that you are going to close this deal. So that's why I frame it like that. Are you open to getting resourceful with your finances so we can figure this out together? They say yes. Boom. Now we're in the close. All right. So what you do from here is very simple. It's a logical conversation at this point. There's no salesmanship to it at all. You just have a logical conversation to figure it out, what payment plan is going to work and close. And I could do a whole entire video on payment plans, but to give you the long story short, what I like to do is I always start with the down payment. So I'll frame it as this. I'll say, great. So typical down payment, what most students do. I always say what most students do because most people want to do what most people do. So I say what most students do is they'll put anywhere from X to X down. So let's say you have a $5,000 program. They put anywhere from $500 to $1,500 down. What's best for you for a down payment? Negotiate, work through that, have that conversation. All right, cool. You can put $1,000 down. We got $4,000 remaining. You know, typically what most students do is they'll split that up into 3 payments. You know, does that sound fair to you? No, it doesn't. Blah, blah, blah. Negotiate, 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 land on terms. When you land on terms, you say, great. Are we committing to this? Are we committing to this? They say yes. Bada bing, bada boom. You close the fucking deal. All right. So that's the science. That's why we ask the questions that we do. Well, let's go ahead and role play this with AI.
Sure, let's do it. Here goes. I feel that the cost of the program is too high, and I can't afford it at the moment.
Hey, totally understand if you think it's too much money. Cool if I ask you a couple questions, though?
Sure, go ahead. I'm open to answering any questions you have.
Amazing. I appreciate it. So I know earlier in the call, you told me that you really had to lose these 100 pounds so that you could be a better parent to your children and a better husband to your wife. Is that still a top priority for you?
Yes, I still prioritize improving my family life as a top goal. Losing weight will allow me to be more present and engaged with my children, setting a positive example for them. It will also strengthen my marriage, creating a more positive emotional environment for both my wife and I.
I love that, man. And I really want to feel it from you. Like, why is this so important for you to reach?
It's important for me to reach this goal so I can feel proud of myself and my accomplishments. It's about taking control of my life and creating a better, healthier lifestyle for myself and my family. I want to show my children what's possible when they see their father taking care of himself and thriving.
Let's freaking go. I love that, man. And we're going to reach that goal. All right. Now, I just want to double check as well. Obviously, you've seen everything. Do you feel 100% confident that our program can help you reach that goal?
Yes, I feel confident that your program can help me reach my goal. I've seen the success stories and the support you offer, and I trust in your ability to provide the tools and guidance I need to succeed.
Okay, that's good. I'm glad that you love the program. And what about the program do you love? Like, why do you think that this can help you reach your goal?
Several aspects of the program stand out to me and make it seem like it can help me reach my goal. The individualized attention and support provided by the coaching team will give me the guidance and motivation I need to stay on track. The specific exercise and nutrition plans tailored to my goals will help me optimize my efforts and see results faster. Additionally, the tracking system and regular check ins will help me stay accountable and motivated.
Good. I love it. So, like I said, obviously, you've seen all the program. Do you feel confident that you have time for a program like this?
Yes, I feel confident that I have time for this program. I can set aside some time each week to focus on my goals and prioritize this program alongside my work schedule. I know it will take some planning and effort, but I'm committed to making it work.
Come on, man. I love that you're committed to making it work. Okay. And how about yourself? And what I mean by that is, are you 110% confident that you could reach this goal? Or maybe are you experiencing some self doubt, some imposter syndrome?
I admit that I do experience some self doubt, which has held me back in the past. There's a part of me that doubts my ability to succeed, especially when I've struggled in other areas of my life. However, I believe that this program, with its personalized approach and supportive environment, can help me build confidence and break through those doubts to achieve my goals.
Okay, so just to confirm, I believe this is what you said, but I want to confirm. You are willing to push through the doubt to reach this goal. Is that right?
Yes, I'm willing to push through the self doubt to achieve my goals. I want to challenge my own beliefs and prove to myself that I can succeed. I'm all in on this program and committed to making it work.
Come on now. I freaking love that. All right, so if I'm hearing you correctly, the only thing holding you back is the finances. Is that right?
That's right. The main reason I've been hesitant to commit fully to the program is the financial aspect. I do want to make the investment, but I'm worried about the impact it may have on my budget.
Okay, so obviously you have the drive. This goal is a top priority. Sounds like you have the time, you believe in the program. My question for you, though, is on the financial side. Are you open to getting resourceful together so that we could reach this goal?
Yes, I'm open to getting resourceful to make this work. I understand that achieving my goals may require sacrifices, and I'm willing to find ways to prioritize the investment in the program. Let's discuss potential options.
Okay, and just like that, you would go into the negotiations of the payment plan, which I don't want to make this video too long. But obviously, if you want me to go through what that looks like, I can create a video. Just let me know in the comment section down below. All right, y'all, that is going to be it. If this is your first time listening, we pump out content like this weekly. My goal is to make sales simple in the online coaching space for both the coaches and high ticket closers. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. It's free. All the content's free. All you got to do is hit subscribe, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment if you feel implied to do so. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.